All right, everybody. I just want to start off things by a word from our sponsor. That's Ice Designs Houston. They're going to help you transform ice into art. So if you're trying to add something special to your wedding, to your party, it could be a corporate event, and you need like a little something just to make it look real nice. Just call up Ice Designs Houston. It's a locally owned family business here in the Houston area, and they will consult you on, just give them some ideas of what you might want, and they'll help you pick out something real cool, and really anything you imagine, they can help you bring it to life by sculpting that in a large piece of ice. Call them up and let them know that you're a DadPod listener, and they'll give you 10% off your first order.
All right, guys. Now it's time for me to tell y'all again about MaWi Auto, the best body shop in Houston, located on 426 West Gulf Bank Road, Houston, Texas 77037. You can call them at 346-275-5498. And what can I say? They're amazing, dude. Literally amazing. Some of the services they have is that if you get in a wreck, they'll tow your car for free, even if it's long distance. Give you a free estimate if you need some body shop work done. And all insurance is accepted. And what's cool about them is they have a deductible assistance programs. And then a lot of times they'll actually pay for your deductible if you can't pay for it or for whatever reason. And I've been their customer for a long time. They've come through for me for many occasions. You never know, whenever something goes wrong with your car, it's important to have a place that you can take it to that you can trust. And MaWi Auto is a great place. So I highly recommend it. Give them a call at 346-275-5498. All right.
All right, DadPod. We're here. We're out here. We're in here.
Show is. We be here.
We're in the speakers right now, or your AirPods, whatever you're listening to it on.
Yeah, if you're on Spotify or Apple podcast or whatever.
YouTube.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Oh, the YouTube. Yeah, we're on there. I forget that.
Yeah.
Looking at you, YouTube. Looking at you, YouTube. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So,
all right. Before we begin, let's talk about this Iam Tongi guy.
So we're talking about I don't know how many people are still keeping up with American Idol.
Whew.
I'm a little bit of an American Idol fan. I don't watch the actual show when it comes out, but all the clips they put on YouTube, I usually watch them day after or the day of, whenever they come on there.
Mm-hmm.
And so this season, what is it? The 21st season or something like
Dude,
that?
I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. How many seasons do they have per year? I don't.
They just do one a year.
Just one a year. So
yeah,
I don't know.
And so this guy, just to give a little bit of background. So it just wrapped up 2 weeks ago or something.
Something like that. Real, yeah.
And honestly, this was talent-wise, this is one of the better seasons I feel like in a long time, especially just for singers, people who can really sing. But the cool thing about this guy, I think there was better maybe technical singers than Iam Tongi, but as far as whenever this guy sings, he has a really distinct style that's just his, and he has a different tone than anybody that you can think of.
Yeah.
And he just has a different almost emotion behind the way that he sings it that just hits in a different kind of way than somebody that might be a more technically sound or technically advanced. But man, we'll take a listen to let's watch this little clip.
I hope YouTube doesn't kick us off.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Very well. So tell us who you are, where you're from.
My name is Iam Tongi, and I'm from Kahuku, Hawaii.
Iam Tongi.
Tongi. You pronounce the T's like a D in the Tongi culture. Yeah.
Tong. So tell us about your journey. How did you get here?
Well, I grew up in Kahuku, which is on Oahu, and I recently, not recently, 3 years ago, I moved to Seattle.
Hey.
No, it's not the same, but it's still all right.
Well, it's
It's
definitely
not the same.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
Why on earth would you leave Hawaii?
Price out of paradise. That's what it is.
Ah,
Yeah, price out of paradise, and
I get it.
gotta move to a cheaper state.
We're fixing to get you priced back in Hawaii.
You know,
Yeah.
you gonna go back
Any
in?
chance, move back.
I think you should buy
Is
an
your
island.
family there, or where's your family?
Most of my mom's siblings, she has 12 siblings. I have family in Hawaii, but my mom, we all live in Seattle.
So
And your dad?
My dad passed away like
Ah,
a couple of months ago.
Sorry, buddy.
Like right here, you could tell he's starting to break a little bit.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, dude.
For all this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his name?
Rodney.
Rodney.
Yeah.
I could tell they meant a lot to you. Yeah,
Sorry, buddy.
I got it, man. What are you gonna do for us?
Sorry.
Take your time. Take your time. It's okay, man. You know, when you love so deeply, you feel so deeply. And so what you're just giving us right now is the fact you love that man so much. Okay,
Yeah.
we're there with you.
The song we sing is a song. It's called "Monsters" by James Blunt.
Monster. Okay.
Yeah, it's a song dedicating to my dad.
All right. You want to take a moment? You all right?
I'm good. You gotta relax a little. Oh, before they turn off all the lights, I wanna read you your wrongs or your rights. Time is gone. Oh, I'll tell you goodnight, close the door. I'll tell you I love you once more. Time is gone, so here it is. I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forget, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. While you're sleeping, I try to make you proud. So daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid, it's my time to chase the monsters away. Sleep a lifetime, yes, and breathe a last word. Can feel my hand on your own. 'Cause I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forget, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. While you're sleeping, I try to make you proud. So daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid, it's my turn to chase the monsters away. Oh, sorry.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
Oh man. Okay. So, dude, when I first watched it, I think I heard about it on the Joe Rogan podcast because the homeboy Jelly Roll was on there talking about it, and they saw it on the clip, and then Rogan's like crying, and I was like, "What? I gotta watch." Oh man, it's crazy. So I looked up this video, and then I started watching it, and I watched it the first time, and I cried, dude, and then I watched it with Rebecca, my wife, and I never heard the James Blunt song before.
Me
Like
neither,
I've never
yeah.
heard of that song. I had no
Yeah.
idea what that was. I knew who James Blunt was,
Yeah.
but I've never heard of that Monster song or whatever. And I think upon I've seen this thing like 10 times already now, but when I was watching it, one of the repeat watches or whatever, when he says, "No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes, and you know mine." Bro, I broke down like to another level, bro. Like it was I think watching it just now is like one of the first few times I really haven't like bawled like a baby listening to this mug, dude. Because it is heavy, son. Like you got these two dudes. I don't even know these guys' names.
The judges.
The judges.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie and who's the
Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan, the country guy. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's heavy, dude. Fatherlessness sucks, dude. And man, this kid is you want to root for this
He won the
kid.
whole thing.
He won the whole thing. And then I watched all his videos.
The other crazy thing is, I don't know how many people really follow American Idol that closely, but I think because over the last few years, it's not been as popular.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it comes down to like what voting blocks are the people who watch it. And most of the people who watch it are like, Bible Belt, middle of America, like big country music fans. So the last few years, it's been like country singers who win the whole thing usually. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the final, it was him versus a girl who kind of did like country style stuff and a guy who did country style stuff. And he won. And a lot of that, I think, is because of this video.
Yeah. Oh,
like it went so viral that people who aren't like that big of American Idol fans.
I'm not, dude.
We're like, all right, when this final airs, if he's in the final, I'm voting for this dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen American Idol since Ruben Studdard, dude.
Yeah, that was like the second season, or
I don't even know. I thought it was the first one.
No, the first one was Kelly Clarkson, yo.
Kelly was the first one?
Kelly Clarkson won the first season.
Dude, oh, that's crazy.
But it's like just such a cool story, man. That like the other thing that it doesn't show in this clip that happened to him too is that guitar that he's playing right here.
Yeah. It's his dad.
His dad gave it to him as a gift, and he promised his dad, like, I'm going to play this guitar at every time that I play a show, I'm playing this guitar. And there was one point in the competition where that guitar, like, for some reason the amplification didn't work in it. Like, I don't know if the battery was dead or what. So they had to give him, like, a backup guitar. And he's having like a really hard time with it because he felt like, no, I promised my dad that I would only play this guitar when I perform, and I can't be playing another guitar. But they were like, your dad will want you to move on in the competition, so we'll fix the guitar. Like, don't worry about it. We'll get the guitar fixed. Just use this one for now. But it was like, it's just crazy, like the amount of emotion that he has because his dad died.
Yeah.
And then he's able to still like hold it together on a song like that until the last word. But it doesn't really matter because it's like when you put that emotion behind it, people don't care that you messed up the last word.
Yeah.
Man, it's really cool though, and it's funny because it makes you realize like
it's raw, dude.
Man, James Blunt can write a song, but he cannot sing. Because if you hear his version, you're like, "What is this?"
I watched the James Blunt video when he's holding his dad's hand in it.
Yeah,
and it's emotional, but it's not the same.
The way he sings it doesn't hit the same.
He crushed it, dude. Oh.
It almost reminds me, like, I've been getting really into... You know who Louis Capaldi is? He does that song... He has, like, a lot of hits on the radio, like, Another Day Bleeds into Nightfall. You know that song?
Vaguely.
He has a lot of radio hits. Anyways, I've been getting kind of into him because he has the same kind of, like, real soulful, like, emotional just way that he sings. Total goofball if you ever see him like on social media, but he's like he can write a song too. He's like I think he's like Irish or Scottish, one of the two. I don't know.
Yeah.
He'd probably slap me if I didn't get it right. I know he's not English, but he's one of those two. Anyways, but yeah, this is if you haven't watched this clip or any of his other stuff, like just go watch him. It's worth it. Hopefully he'll come out with an album soon. And the other thing is he just has like a vibe about him. Every time that he did a song, you could tell it was him. Like he had his own style. It wasn't like he was trying to be somebody else. So it's cool, man.
Oh, okay.
And then good tie-in with dad stuff because
dude, this is it's a dad story.
He needs to record a whole version of that because it's better. There's not that often that the cover is better than the original, but this is like He
Yeah.
pulled a Johnny Cash with this one, man. Like
Yeah.
Johnny Cash went in there and did "Hurt" better than Nine Inch Nails did it, and he came in here and he did "Monsters" way better than
Yeah.
even though James Blunt wrote the song. It's crazy that he can take that on too, and because it's like means so much to him, the words of it
Dude,
relate
yeah.
on a personal level to
Oh
him.
yeah.
It's almost hits the same as if he wrote it, you know?
Whew, man. Oh
Mm.
gosh. Yeah, I'm happy for this kid, man. I mean, he's a millionaire now, right?
I don't think they pay you. I think what they do is they give you a record deal.
Oh, but
But you probably get like a big signing bonus with your
you
record
could,
deal.
I mean, you can sell merch. You could do a lot. With
The other thing,
fame
too,
and
is if he
that
already
the
has-
platform gives you, you know.
They've changed like a bunch of the rules where like, well, not really changed the rules, but now if like you have any recordings and you have them on Spotify, like people are, I'm sure he has songs on Spotify and
Yeah.
they're probably getting tons of plays right now, and he's making money off of that.
That's cool.
Too,
That's
so.
cool. Yeah.
It's cool though, man. Like, it's a really cool story and just a unique artist. You
Yeah.
know?
This kid. I mean, this kid. Sky's the limit now for
You
this kid.
just go find it. There's a lot of YouTube videos of him just like jamming in his living room.
Dude, yeah.
And he did this cover of what's it called, of Chris Stapleton,
Oh, he did.
what, Tennessee Whiskey, and it's really good too. He's he's pretty cool.
It's a real slow version of it. I liked it.
Yeah, but he crushes it, man. He just sings so well. He's not trying to be flashy, but he just,
It's time for me to get set
you
up
know,
for
he
therapy,
hits
and I
all
use
the
this room as my office.
he hits all the right notes, you know.
Yeah. Okay. He has a YouTube channel, and it's official Iam Tongi. 182K subscribers. And
Yeah, so he already had a lot of content like before.
yeah, I
He was
guess
on American Idol, but
he's got all these shorts on here. Man, we need to get that done for for our channel.
yeah, one day.
One day we'll do more. You know, okay. So today was my last day of school, so I'm out for the summer. So yeah, that was cool. I'll have more time to edit and do
yeah.
more stuff. We could probably do 2 a week if you want.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see how we can schedule.
You got anything planned for this summer?
Not really. I mean, I think we're going to San Antonio. Like, we're gonna go on Father's Day,
Okay, cool.
and then not a lot, man. Just
Yeah.
trying to job hunt really.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
So,
How's that going?
it's all right. You know, I feel like I have maybe a decent lead for something that's probably not gonna happen until July.
Okay.
But they're at least the company that I'm talking to has at least told me like, yeah, this position didn't open until July, but when it opens, we'll let you know and get an interview scheduled. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a waiting game myself. Yeah, I got an interview next Thursday, so hopefully that goes well. I think, man, I feel, I don't know, I feel people say this all the time, but I feel like I'm at peace with it, you know, like, and my wife's been super supportive, and yeah, I don't know, I just feel, I think it'd be a cool fit, and I'm just excited about the job, and the more I'm learning about the position, I think it's different from what I've been doing, but
yeah,
I'm fired up about it, man. It's
Oh, yeah,
hopefully
that's
be
cool.
pretty cool.
yeah.
But yeah. So next week, oh, you know what, dude? Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, Saturday. I keep thinking it's Friday. I know it's Thursday. It feels
Yeah.
like a Friday to
Yeah,
me.
it does a little bit.
Just because it was the last day of work or whatever, you know. But the Rockleys getting married, dude. George Rockley.
Oh, really?
Dude, I remember this kid when he was a sixth grader in Camp Tallowood.
Man, that's crazy because he was in my I forget what they call it, but the middle school choir thing
Yeah?
when he was in the 7th grade, I think.
Sunlight or Starlight?
Heartlight?
Heartlight.
Heartlight, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
with Joel Winters. I used to like be a
Oh,
sponsor in there,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he was in either 7th or 8th grade when I did that. But man, and I think Teddy. Is
Yeah,
it?
little man. Yeah, Ted.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was one year that I did Spark, but I don't remember if it was his It
Yeah.
was his age or the year older than him that I had, but
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Well, I had both the Broccoli Boys and the sister twice.
So what's he up
At-
to
at
these
Camp
days?
Tolliver.
Sorry, we're telling everybody else's business on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast. I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
Is
but
he still in the area though?
he was in the military for a
Yeah,
while.
that's what I thought,
and
but I didn't know if he was
I
still
think he
doing that.
he's done with that and,
Okay.
and going to school now, I think.
Okay.
And he moved to town, and he hit me up the other day and was asking me about churches around the area, and I was like, yeah, man, I recommended my church and stuff, but I think he's still in the process of planning the wedding and all that. I think things will settle down after his honeymoon or whatever. And
That's cool. So that's Saturday?
yeah, Saturday, man. I'm excited.
Dang, that's
It'll be
cool.
cool.
Is it at Talwood, or where are they doing the wedding?
No, they're doing it in near Brenham. I don't remember
okay.
the exact name of the town. It's like one of
Okay.
those small town near Brenham. It's like a nice little venue though.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Beck got an Airbnb, and we're gonna take a little trip out there and go see them,
Cool.
and celebrate with them. And it's
That's
exciting.
awesome, man.
So yeah,
Crazy how like you get old and people
Dude, I
who
feel
were
old.
like kids when you were an adult are now like adults. It's
yeah,
weird.
yeah, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, you
Yeah.
got any other like summer plans?
Well, the island cruise getting back together.
Oh yeah, we're doing a staycation in
We're doing
Houston.
a staycation. Yeah, they're Marco and Christy are coming, and
We haven't really planned everything we're gonna do, but we're.
I
just
think we
gonna
got the
do-
date locked down.
Yeah,
that's
we
all
got
we
the date
got.
locked
That's all
down
that
and-
matters. It says I don't care what
Yeah,
we
we're
do.
hanging out. We're
As
probably
long
gonna
as
do
we're
some-
together and the kids are having fun,
Oh, yeah.
and we're healthy, and nobody's throwing up or having diarrhea, that's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Gonna be a good time. Even if you do have diarrhea again, it'll be fun.
yeah. Last year I had a stomach bug. It was
Yeah.
not fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's all good, man. Yep. I got a Galveston trip coming up after the week after this one, and then yeah, dude, I don't know.
Who are you going? Are you going with your family or who's going?
No, I'm going with Curto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Curto. He invited me the other day. We're gonna go. Me and Beck. We don't
Cool.
know if we're taking the baby yet. I don't know.
Is it like beach house or what do
A
you?
little beach house, yeah. I
That's
think his
cool.
grandparents have a beach house there. I've
Mm.
been there before. This was like 8 years ago when we were both like single. This is how long ago it was. It was 2015.
Oh man,
2015. Yeah.
that is a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man. It was yeah. Okay, so you called me and we talked a little bit about what we were going to talk about today. And this
Yeah.
Iam Tongi thing, I just felt like we should talk about it, dude,
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
for
so
sure.
great. It's so heavy, and it's pretty relevant. I mean, still too pretty recent. But there's another father figure
Yeah,
on the TV.
And honestly, if we ever do the what's it called, the father
The dad draft.
the dad draft, he's gonna be like undraftable because he's maybe the worst dad in pop culture.
No, there's still worse dads. I don't know. No, but he's pretty bad.
The worst fictional dad.
He's a monster, dude.
Yeah.
He's all ego, all just conniving. He's brilliant in a bad way, and I mean it's kind of funny because you could tell it's like a liberal show.
Yeah, we're talking about
Because
Succession.
They
so.
they basically are like Fox News, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And it's how evil it is. But whatever, dude.
So we're
Brian Cox. Though.
yeah. So we're gonna talk about Succession.
Yeah.
We'll talk for a little while, just like a brief, kind of preview of what the show is for people who haven't ever seen it. Like the finale just happened, like the series finale. So after we get done talking about that, like kind of what the show is, if you haven't seen it,
we'll do
just,
a spoiler warning banner.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it like to adults.
Yeah.
Because it's got like a lot of language and like
Yeah.
stuff in it.
Yeah.
Not to kids, but it's if you should watch it because it's like some really good writing and some really good like twists and turns and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but if you haven't seen it, kind of the premise is like there's this family that has like a media empire, and there's this guy who's like the dad, right? He's older, adult kids, and he's like at the age where you can tell either he's gonna retire and hand it off to somebody, or he's gonna die like in the next 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So the whole show is kind of like his kids sort of vying for who's gonna take it over.
Yeah.
And you have like, so he's got 4 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
The oldest one, what's his name again?
Connor.
Connor's the oldest one. Connor is kind of like his own guy. Like, he doesn't really care about it as much.
And he was from like his first marriage.
Yeah, he's a little bit more eccentric. So he's like their half brother.
He's their half brother, but he's still their oldest son.
And
Yeah.
he's still the son of what's his name?
Brian Cox.
Yeah, but his name
Logan
Roy.
Roy.
Yeah,
Logan
Logan
Roy.
Roy, who's
Yeah.
the CEO of this
Yeah.
company. And then you have the next one, who's Kendall.
Yeah.
And Kendall has always, like, when the show starts, you can tell he's always been like kind of.
Jeremy Strong.
It's Jeremy Strong, and he's been the one who's like the most headstrong about.
He wants
Kinda
it so
taking it
bad.
over. He
He's
wants
the
it
one
the
who wants
most.
it the most, probably.
And
Yeah.
he's worked like in the company more,
Yeah.
and taken it more seriously than any other sibling.
And
Yeah. And then you have Shiv, who is who's like, she's kind of against it because her like personal convictions are more liberal than the family, so she doesn't really like, she still loves her family,
Right.
but she's not really, and she still wants power and stuff, but she has a different kind of
Yeah.
like mindset, and she's off doing her own thing when it
beginning.
starts.
Yeah.
Doing her own thing like politically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the youngest, Roman.
Yeah.
And Roman is kind of like, he's just like,
he's the most like the dad in the sense that
he just says what he thinks.
well, yeah.
And a lot of times it's really mean or really crass.
Oh yeah, and he's the funniest one. With
Yeah.
Real quippy and real rude and
Yeah.
just no regard.
But
just,
at the beginning of the show, you can tell he doesn't really care that much.
yeah.
He wants to be involved, but he doesn't like, I don't know.
He likes the power.
Yeah.
And he likes the money. Like,
But he doesn't really like the responsibility as much.
I wouldn't
don't
say
think.
he doesn't like the responsibility. I think he's good at it, and you see in the show how he can do deals and.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
And
got
pretty,
gifts.
He's
got
pretty
gifts.
likable. He's good at winning people over
Yeah.
to like his view of thinking.
But the way, because I saw some interviews, it's Kieran Culkin, I believe.
Yeah.
And the sister is Sarah Snook.
Yeah, Sarah Snook, that's right.
So Culkin was talking about how out of everybody, what's his name? Roman.
Yeah.
Roman is the most like the dad. So like if he was the head of the company, he would just do everything the way the dad did it, and he
Yeah.
would just be that. It would be like the same. Like he would just do everything as ruthless and crazy as Logan would do it. But where Kendall would try to make it his own thing.
Yeah.
Kendall would change things.
He's a bit more ambitious on his own thoughts.
He would be
Yeah.
like, how would I do it my way, and change a few things and just make it to where it would be completely different, but his own way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sarah Snook, very similar. She would kind of take over the reins and just wants to be in control and own something, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Still wheeling and dealing. This is in a similar fashion, but maybe more of like an in between
Yeah.
of the Kendall and Roman. But it's more of her wanting to have like control and like the respect. Females in the boardroom kind of
Yeah.
vibe. Like she needs to be respected, and you can see that in the relationship she develops with her husband in the show.
Yeah, so there's two other characters that are kind of like just outside the inner circle.
Yeah.
And the first one is her husband. So you want to
Yeah, her husband's Tom Wamsgans,
Yeah.
and he's played by Daniel McFadden.
Yeah, he was in like Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, just
He's a great actor, too,
Is he
man.
Scottish or something? I don't know.
I think
what he
so,
is. Yeah,
something.
But a lot of these guys are European, except for like obviously Kendall and Roman.
Mhm.
Those are American actors. But
Yeah.
I think
Brian Cox
Brian
is,
Cox is
yeah.
Irish or Irish
so.
or Scottish or something like that.
Dude, and I thought Brian Cox was cool as like
Brian
a
Cox.
striker, and then he plays this character, and I'm like,
Dude, the first time I ever saw Brian Cox was in Manhunter with Michael Mann, like I think it was the 80s maybe.
Do you remember that? Do you remember him
he
playing?
he was the original Hannibal Lecter, dude. And
Oh,
he
really?
crushed it. Like, he was great. I mean, Anthony Hopkins took it to the stratosphere, but he was good too. Like, he was legit. And as Stryker, he was great. The Wolverine, oh my gosh, he was a great villain
He was
in
X-Men 2, yeah.
Great villain in X-Men 2. And, I mean, yeah, he's just had countless great roles.
Yeah, but this one he crushes, man.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh, yeah.
he's just so kind of ruthless and like unpredictable a lot of times, and just says some of the meanest like dad things that you can say.
Yeah, and he cheats on like every wife. How many marriages he had? Like 5 marriages.
I don't know, but like anyway,
Crazy.
so
Tom
Wamsgans, he works for the company too.
Yeah, so
His wife doesn't, but he does.
So he
at the beginning.
So what I was saying about Shiv is that she wants to be in control of things, and she has like kind of like a chip on her shoulder about how the men are, or whatever. And so immediately you realize that she's the one who's got the upper hand in the relationship with Tom. Tom is just like a guy who's, just sucking up to the CEO.
He's kind of just like along for the ride.
But he really wants to be in, but he's going about it like just real brown nosy, like you know what I mean? Like he buys Logan Roy a $60,000 watch as a gift, or $10,000. I don't even know how. It's an expensive watch or whatever. It might have been a Rolex, whatever. He gives him a gift, and then Logan's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, he doesn't care about the watch as much.
Yeah.
And Tom, that's Tom's whole story is like, he's a guy who grew up poor and really, really wants to be rich and wants to be in the room where it happens, so to speak, right? And then we have like one of the youngest people, which is actually
and Greg is his name.
Greg is Logan's nephew, right?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the show, it's kind of crazy how he gets in it. Him and Tom are both like kind of outsiders a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's working at like one of their theme parks.
Yeah.
And like I can't remember how, but anyways, he gets.
I think he's doing like he's smoking weed and he gets really sick, and he's a mascot or one of the park. Wearing a big suit.
He's got a crappy job there.
Yeah. He's just like a greeter.
So
mascot.
he just shows up like to the offices, and it happens to be like the same day that like something big is going down. I won't spoil it for people who haven't watched it.
Can we do the spoiler thing now?
Well, I'll just finish telling you who Greg kind of is, and then we'll say spoilers. So Greg just kind of shows up, and he's never grown up around this. Like his family's related, but he had kind of like a normal upbringing, and so he's like sort of like your fish out of water character when it starts out, because everybody else, even though Tom wasn't raised in it, he works for the company, so he knows it well enough, knows the lingo to kind of fit in.
Yeah.
But Greg is like completely in over his head when he gets there. So he's almost like the everyman, like so you can kind of relate to the show a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Greg. So those are your like main characters in the show.
Yeah.
Now we can do the spoiler alert.
Okay, so season 1, basically the whole overarch of season 1 is basically Kendall is in a position of power in the company, and he blows a deal, and it pisses off Logan Roy. And so you see that in the first season, Kendall was like positioning himself to be the guy. In the very first episode, Logan has some sort of stroke or something like that, and he has a health scare where he's in the hospital for a couple of days, and that's when you really see the fight begin with the siblings to vying for the
because they think he might
throne.
die, because I think he's in a coma for a little bit, right?
I think he was just in the hospital.
Oh, I thought he might have been in a coma.
Might have been in a coma. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's like 5 years ago. Yeah. But Jeremy Strong, he's always trying to be like the man, but he's I don't know, you feel like he just desperately wants it, and then you find out he has a really bad drug problem. He's been in rehab, and his divorce his marriage is
in shambles,
a mess. His kid, he doesn't see his kids that much. I mean, this is the thing that's taken over his life, and it's just out of his grasp, and you really see that he might be out of his element here. And so it's really him getting as close to the throne as possible, where at the end of the season he ends up doing drugs at a
Yeah, so-
party.
no, it was-
was it Shiv's
Yeah,
wedding?
it's Shiv and Tom are getting married like
Yeah.
at the end of the first season. So it's their wedding, and what's his name? Kendall.
Yeah.
He's at this point because he blew the deal, so he like went into like a big drug bender
Big
like
depression.
the whole season
Yeah.
and a big depression. So he's kind of like really wanting some drugs.
Yeah.
And he finds a guy who like gives that
he's
he's gonna
like
go do
okay,
drugs
so
with.
he's like a waiter at the wedding, like
Yeah.
one of the servers at the wedding who just happens to score him. I don't know what kind of drug, whatever. And they drive in a car to go get drugs or something. And I don't was Kendall driving?
He might have been. I think he was.
I think he was driving.
Yeah.
He's driving, and the car goes over a bridge and it goes underwater, and he doesn't save the guy. He could have
Yeah.
saved the guy, but he just swam to shore and like left the guy there, and like I don't know. And then he goes crying to Logan, and Logan makes it disappear, which
Yeah.
is insane, dude.
And the other crazy thing that I just realized today because I was watching like a little recap video thing. So Logan has this bodyguard dude that's like always with him, and that bodyguard dude like helped them cover it up.
Yeah. Who was it though?
And
was
then
it Frank? Was it Frank?
No, Frank isn't a bodyguard.
Okay, well, who was the bodyguard?
I forget the guy's name, but he in the finale.
Oh yeah.
Whenever Kendall is like at the end at the shore or whatever, the bodyguard is there with him. It's like the guy who he was Logan's bodyguard the whole time, and then he decides like in the second to last episode, I think, he like hires him to be Kendall hires him to be his bodyguard.
Oh.
So the crazy thing about it is like he's the only guy who knows.
Oh yeah.
Other than like that they covered it up and all this kind of stuff, other than like that he confessed to his siblings. And so like there are a lot of people who say it's like an allegory for like the ghost of his past. Like even though in the last episode he tries to deny that he never did that, that guy still knows, and that guy's following him right there.
Oh yeah, you don't.
So like the sins of his past don't get away from him. It's always gonna.
You kill a guy and you corporately get away with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Well, yeah. So that's the spoiler.
Yeah,
for
spoiler
for the
fi-
finale.
Yeah.
For the finale, but as I was saying, like so the second season, really quickly. Sorry, Sarah Snook. That's her season. So
Yeah.
I love how they divided it. Like the first three seasons are the three siblings. So the first season is Kendall's. The second season is Shiv, and Shiv screws up a deal too. I think she blabs or something like that to a competitor, or claims herself to be the person who's going to be the successor, but prematurely, and sends everything into like a tailspin, and then loses her father's trust, and then she loses that. And then the third season is Roman.
Yeah.
Roman is like the best, dude.
And he's like crushing it too. Like
Roman is they're literally the success of the whole show, the whole season, within the show, right? The company in the show, the fictional company, which is like ATN and like Waystar Royco. Yeah. Roman is the guy who got the Gojo deal. Like he's the one who set up that whole deal and was masterfully like behind the scenes getting that deal done. So
yeah, and like would
Roman
not take
has
no for an answer. Just
Roman
kept
has
chasing this guy down.
a real talent, better talent than Kendall with these type of deals. Because you see him fumble the bag and you see Snook fumble the bag, but Roman actually like did the right thing. And Roman even in the fourth season, Roman's the one who got the deal, dude, and he like. Dude, he crushes it in those types of situations.
And he does like exactly what his dad would like the stuff that he says.
He's just a monster. Yeah. Anyways, and so then you have.
But the reason why he lost it is because he sent like naughty pictures to some other
crazy
person who works at the company.
Inappropriate company things.
Yeah.
He just. I mean, that's he's done after that. And so and then you're like, well, what's gonna happen? And then in the finale of the third season, Logan's gonna sell the company to Gojo and just cut all the siblings out, right? And Sarah Snook tells Tom, and then Tom uses that information and gives that to Logan, and so he gives Logan the heads up to get the board seats to do the deal. by going through the mom who's actually a board member. And so he betrays Shiv, and then he puts himself in a position of power to be Logan's Roy right hand for the 4th season.
Mm-hmm.
And it was masterfully done, because I think he betrays Shiv because of all the horrible things Shiv's done for. So
because
with their marriage, Shiv is the one, like, their wedding night was like, hey, we should still have an open marriage. And he was like,
because the whole time they're engaged, she's like cheating on him with some.
She's cheating on him, always cheating on, like treating him like dirt, and he is just like super hurt. I'm obviously, like, rightfully so. And in that moment, he just betrays her so he could position himself to be the guy. And then in the 4th season, he's scared he might not be the guy for most of the season, because Logan dies on the 3rd episode, right?
Yeah.
Which is a great episode, because they did it so well, dude.
Yeah. So this episode, or this season, like, almost more so explores, like, what them being raised by such a, like, well, not only ruthless, but just kind of an absent father. Like, he wasn't really there for them a lot because he was working so much. And what that does to, like, each kid. And you don't really think about it as much in the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Even though that stuff sort of shows up, but, like, you can just see, like, they still love their dad, but, like, at the same time, some of the stuff that he says to them and, like, the way that he's treated them, like, it's like a love-hate sort of thing. Like, they love him, but at the same time, they, like, just...
It's one of those things where you want somebody's affection and approval so bad, but they don't give it to you.
Yeah.
But you want it because you love them, and so it's just a very misplaced love that hurts instead of helps, right?
Yeah.
And what I thought was crazy was when the episode where Logan dies... He dies off camera. You never see him die. You just see Tom describing what's going on through a phone call, and you just see, like, long takes of them on a boat, Logan on a plane, and they're just disconnected information and texting, and like literally how you would find out how anybody finds out how anybody dies in this day and age through technology. That's how they did it, and it was brilliant, dude. I loved how they did it. It's so unexpected. You know how the episode comes out.
The crazy thing
is they have, like, a title, and the title doesn't even give it away. It's just Connor's wedding or something.
Yeah,
that's the name of the episode.
That's what's happening in that episode. Connor's getting married.
And when Logan was talking to his dad and saying goodbye, Kendall was talking to Logan saying goodbye. Kendall said, "Dad, I don't forgive you. I can't forgive you, but I love you." And I was like, dude, what the heck? He's dying and you can't forgive him? He like bailed you out of going to prison, dude.
Yeah.
And you can't forgive him?
Because there was, like, a lot of investigations and stuff going on with that murder, too. So that was crazy. But, like, so throughout that season, like, I probably should go back and watch, like, some of the stuff again, because it's hard to, like, remember everything. But I think so Logan was on his way to go meet with the owner of Gojo, right? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, something like that.
And he's on the plane and he dies.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy's trying to buy Waystar Royco. He's like a Swiss dude or something.
Yeah, he's trying to sell his company, become like just this ultra billionaire.
Yeah.
And ride off in the sunset and leave his kids without any kind of power. Of course, they're going to have money, but they have no power. What they want is power.
And the kids are, like, trying to devise their own plan to, like, sort of be a rival to him. And they bought, like, some other small thing. Which you think is going to be... The crazy thing is they like, rev it up like this is going to be a big deal. And then it has, like... It doesn't even matter for the rest of the season.
They have, like, a... Yeah.
Because once he dies, like, they're still, like... They still have seats at, like, the boardroom table for, like, big votes and stuff. So then they decide to make, like, what is it, Kendall and Roman, like, kind of co-CEOs essentially.
Yeah, to push Shiv out.
But they aren't trying to push Shiv out, I don't think.
I think that was the plan all along, at least with Kendall.
Yeah, probably with Kendall. Kendall's plan was just to win the whole thing.
Kendall's gift isn't really, like, in business and dealing. Like, he knows what to do, but he can't really make people believe in him or trust in him to seal deals. Roman can. But what Roman can't do is public speaking and drawing a crowd of strangers to be on his side. And Kendall can do that very well.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the dynamic. Like out in public, Kendall is really good. Out in public,
and behind the scenes,
he sucks. Yeah. Whereas Roman is the flip flop.
Yeah.
And so you really see the Roman start to lose it because he was supposed to be the one to give the eulogy, and he just blows it. He gets really scared. Yeah. He's whimpering. He shows a lot of weakness. People aren't like, the guy Mencken, who's the president or whatever, starts to, who was, on Roman's side, is kind of like, like not wanting to be close with Roman, or just after seeing that, he really messed up right there. And then Kendall had to come in and save the day. And anyways, so yeah, we don't have much time. So in the very last episode, those three siblings are fighting, dude.
Yeah, because what has happened, just a quick, like a brief synopsis, but what has happened is like you got Roman and Kendall kind of teaming up because they're trying to kill the deal. Mm-hmm. And then and they've cut Shiv out. So Shiv is with the other guy. Yeah. And basically has made this whole thing where who's
Alexander Skarsgård. He's
he's gonna make
plays
her
the other billionaire who's gonna buy the whole company.
Yeah, and he's gonna make her the US CEO of the new conglomerate. Yeah. So that's kind of what's going into the last episode. And so it's pretty close, the vote and everything, and then you find out like midway through that
at the beginning of the episode, Shiv.
Yeah.
Is just blabbing too much. Yeah. Just getting on the guy's nerves. And then that's when he just quickly decides, I'm just going to give it to Tom. Yeah. And then
I'm going to make Tom the CEO because she thinks like Shiv is like pushing him too much.
She's real pushy, real controlling.
And like trying to control too much, and he wants to do what he wants to do. Yeah. And he finds out from her that Tom is basically like a yes man, and he's just going to do he's going to do everything really well. He's going to run it well, but however you want it to be run, that's how he's going to run it.
Yep. And that's what he needs.
And so he's like, well, then I'm just going to get Tom.
Yep.
And then Tom
gets it, dude. And then Greg, Greg thing.
So Greg and Tom, we didn't talk about this, but they're like best friends the whole time because Greg's kind of like Tom's intern, basically. Yeah. And so Greg finds out that like they're not going to go with Shiv, and
Greg didn't know that it was going to be Tom.
Yeah, Greg didn't know it was going to be Tom because Tom just said like, I think you're going to have your job still. He didn't spill the full beans. Yeah. But then Greg's like over there on his phone eavesdropping on this on this Swedish conversation, like translating it. Yeah. And they're talking about how it's not going to be
it's not going to be her.
Yeah. And so he calls up Kendall and he's like, "Yo,"
and he warns him, and then that
he's
sends
like, "If we're going to do this, I got
a frenzy."
Yeah.
It's amazing television storytelling.
And then Tom wins, and
Tom wins, dude.
And the crazy thing is, Kendall thinks that he's going to win. And Shiv is like the last vote, and Shiv said that she was going to vote for him, but then in the boardroom she leaves, and Kendall follows him, and Kendall's like, "You got to vote for me," and Kendall goes like full. The coolest part about that last episode is there's two scenes with the three kids, the three siblings. There's one of them, and they act like kids in both of them. Yeah. There's one of them where it's like joyous kids. They're having fun together. They're like reliving their past. Yeah. And then the other one, it's like they're in full sibling rivalry. Like, I'm going to throw a fit, even though I'm a grown adult. Yeah. Like, and so Kendall's like losing his mind. Like, I can't believe that you wouldn't vote for me.
She's like, you killed a guy. He's like, I was lying about it. I didn't really kill a guy. No. Ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, so Shiv votes yes on the deal. Yeah. And they sell the company, and then what's his name?
And then Shiv, being a Shivster, Shiv the Shiv. Yeah. She's like, well, I'm still married to the CEO. So she flips over, and this is just Tom's wife
But
again.
It makes sense, though, because think about it from her perspective. The whole time that Kendall is in control, Kendall doesn't let Shiv do anything, ever. Yeah. She has a little bit more, even though her leverage has, like, flipped a little bit on Tom, because now Tom has, like, a higher level than her. She still has some leverage on him where maybe she can get her foot in the door somehow. or have some control over it, and she just wants like control over stuff. So
Yeah.
and on top of that, like she's pregnant with Tom's
Yeah.
kid, so like at least her bloodline
Yeah.
can carry on the company,
Yeah.
maybe, even though it's just like a figurehead as that U.S. CEO. But dude, man, the
Brilliant
twist,
show.
the
Brilliant
twists and
show.
turns, like the
Yeah,
writing and everything.
It ended well. I feel like
Some people didn't like it because they were like, they felt like Shiv changed her mind too soon. But if you really think about like the logic behind it and everything,
it
makes sense.
It's how quickly you can be manipulated, and then when you get a good amount of time to think about something, which was literally 24 hours for her.
not only that, but like she saw him like
She ended up
sitting in the
making
desk.
a better decision, I think.
Yeah, yeah, because I think Tom is if you're gonna, yeah, Tom's better.
So what I like about what Tom does and versus what the kids do, kids are pushy the whole of all 4 seasons. Just push. Tom is waiting in the wings for the right opportunity to strike. And that's the brilliance of Tom. Tom is just slow game. And what you think Greg is going to do, but then Greg ruins it because he's just too Greg.
Yeah.
Tom is actually more
The funny thing though,
Greg.
the funny thing though is Tom still thinks that Greg like knew that it was going to be him somehow.
No, I don't think he knew. I just think he got mad that he ruined it with before he could tell him.
Yeah.
But
he
still
the
saved
cool
Greg.
thing is though he loves Greg so
He
much.
loves Greg so
That's the
much.
thing about Tom's character too that
Yeah.
I realized today is like he's the one character that actually has a little bit of like maybe not fully, but some unconditional love for people because Shiv does some rotten stuff to him
and
he always goes back to Shiv.
yeah.
And Greg like basically almost ruined it for him.
Dude, Greg had like this crazy thing where he was supposed to get rid of some evidence. We didn't even talk about that. We don't have to.
Yeah.
But it was like in season 2, he had or season 1 and 2, where he had to get rid of some evidence of just misconduct on a cruise line or whatever.
Yeah.
And Greg's very politely trying to blackmail him. And Tom is just like impressed. And it makes him like Greg more. Oh, it's so great. Oh man. All
Yeah,
right,
but
well,
Greg. Oh, the
anyways.
other thing that I love too is like Tom is like a pretty nice character most of the time,
Yeah.
except to Greg. Like he basically is Logan
You need to have
when he's to Greg,
you need
but
to have
everywhere else
like
he's
a subordinate to like pee on, you know. And like that, Greg, it will always be Tom's guy to just
and
bully,
Tom
to bully.
even uses Greg like as a verb. He's like, all right, get to Gregging over there.
Yeah,
I need you Gregging for me.
it's great.
The
man.
best one is when there's like a bomb threat or something in their office.
Yeah.
And so like
And he
he's
throws the
not,
water bottles
he's
at him.
not high enough up to get like a safe room, so they just
Yeah.
end up in like the storage closet. And Tom starts throwing water bottles at Greg. It's so
They're
funny.
not important enough to be saved. It's so funny. Anyways, man, that's that's it, I guess.
Yeah, it's only like 40 episodes, so you know.
Go binge it. It's great. It's great. I liked it. HBO, yeah.
Maybe one of the best shows in a while.
One of the better shows for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be missed. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, this has been DadPod once again.
Shout out to Tom Wamsgans
Congrats, Tom.
and Greg, whatever your name is, last name. I don't think it's Roy.
Greg Hirsch.
Oh, Greg Hirsch. Yeah. You make Tom look short somehow.
Yeah. Greg's 6'6".
Hmm
Crazy.
He was a Disney star.
He was. He met Tarantino on a plane. Did you hear that story?
Yeah, he gave him a piece of a magazine.
Yeah.
He ripped it out and gave it.
That's such a Greg thing to do. Hey, Tarantino. All right, man.
Cool. Peace.
All right.
Dude, did you know that originally they